So things like that happen. I mean, it's you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's Alex Eala. That's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries, like she's coming from Philippines, which is now a big deal. She's been the biggest ever, tennis player.
Something unusual has been building around Alex Eala, and it's now drawing attention from one of the biggest voices in tennis, Novak Djokovic. After her early exit at the Australian Open, the conversation hasn't just been about her performance, but about the conditions surrounding it. Eala, widely regarded as the most accomplished tennis player to ever come out of the Philippines, entered the tournament carrying not just expectations, but the hopes of an entire nation that is rapidly growing in its passion for the sport. Yet, instead of being placed on a larger, more prominent court that could match her rising profile and fan interest, she was scheduled on a smaller stage, something Djokovic and others have openly questioned. On the surface, it might seem like a minor detail, but in professional tennis, environment matters. The size of the court, the energy of the crowd, and the overall atmosphere can significantly influence.
Sorry, I heard your question, but I'm surprised that my kids are still here. I mean, I love you. Thank you for supporting me, but it's 1 a.m. And when are you going to sleep tonight? They don't want me to speak about them. Yeah, okay. Back to tennis.
A player's mindset, especially in high-pressure matches. According to Djokovic, decisions like these reflect deeper issues in how emerging talents are managed, particularly those coming from countries that haven't traditionally been tennis powerhouses. But the concerns don't stop at court assignments. Those who have followed Eala closely point to a pattern of questionable situations that seem to go against her. During the qualifiers in Melbourne, she found herself in the middle of a tense rally when she struck a shot that appeared clearly in. Spectators could see it, the mark on the court backed it up, and by all reasonable judgment, it should have been her point. Instead, the call went against her, and rather than making a definitive ruling, officials opted to replay the point altogether. For seasoned tennis followers, that's highly unusual. Typically, a call is either in or out, and the point is awarded accordingly. Replaying it in such a situation raised eyebrows and added to the growing sense that she wasn't being treated with full consistency. What stood out, though, was Eala's response. She didn't lose her composure or let frustration take over. She approached the chair umpire calmly but firmly, making it clear she understood what was happening. That moment revealed a level of maturity and confidence that goes beyond her years. More importantly, she didn't let it derail her. She pushed through the adversity, stayed focused, and went on to win the match, eventually reaching the final round of qualifiers, proof of both her resilience and competitive strength. Another incident added even more weight to the conversation. During a high-stakes match against Iga Swiatek, one of the top players in the world and a multiple Grand Slam champion, Eala was not just holding her own, she was competing at an impressive level. The momentum was beginning to shift, and she looked poised to challenge one of the tournament's biggest names. Then, in the middle of that momentum, an official interrupted to question items in her bag. Instead of handling the matter discreetly, it was addressed in a way that drew public attention, creating an uncomfortable and distracting moment. For any athlete, especially a young one competing against an elite opponent, that kind of interruption can be mentally disruptive. It breaks rhythm, introduces doubt, and shifts focus away from the game. Situations like these raise important questions about consistency, professionalism, and how players are treated under pressure. This is exactly why Djokovic's comments carry so much weight. As a 24-time Grand Slam champion and someone who has spent years at the very top of the sport, he understands the fine margins that separate winning from losing. He also understands how critical fair treatment is, not just in officiating, but in every aspect of tournament organization. When someone with his experience points out potential mismanagement, it's not something that can be easily dismissed. His message is clear. Players like Alex Eala deserve the same level of respect, fairness, and opportunity as anyone else competing on the global stage. Talent should be the deciding factor, not background, nationality, or market size. At a broader level, this situation highlights an ongoing challenge within professional tennis. The sport continues to expand globally, bringing in new talent from countries that were once considered outside the traditional tennis map. Players like Eala represent that new wave. They bring diversity, new audiences, and fresh energy into the game. But with that evolution comes the responsibility to ensure that all players are treated equally, regardless of where they come from. If the system fails to adapt, it risks holding back the very growth it aims to achieve.